eSIP follow-up session of Unit 1, Module 1 of SIP, UHV 1. Let's welcome our source person and coursework, Dipesh Bhaiya with us. Dipesh Bhaiya, namaste, welcome.
Namaste Bhaiya. Good evening. Namaste to all.
Welcome. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Let me share the slide from my side. Yeah, slide is visible.
Yes, the slides are also very good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So namaste and welcome to all our participants who have joined in today's evening session for the eSIP program, which is a follow-up session. So a little bit about the background. So we were discussing about the 9 feelings which we were discussing in the last sessions, and we have been talking about the 9 feelings starting from trust, respect, and the other feelings. And in the other feelings, we discussed about affection, we discussed about a little bit about gratitude, care, and we have started about gratitude, and we've spoken about the feeling of reverence also, right? So today we will continue our discussion on gratitude. Gratitude is a feeling for those who have made effort in terms of providing help in the process of my development, isn't it? So when we say my development here, what we mean is working for excellence. So right now, I am working for excellence. So in the process of my effort for excellence, there were a lot of people who have contributed to me in terms of providing, in terms of physical facility, also like enabling right understanding in me. So I have this feeling of gratitude to all of them, right? Because they all helped me in terms of in my process of working for excellence, right? So here you can see that I can see that the other has a feeling of care, affection, trust in behavior with me. And I can also see that the other has helped me in developing right understanding and right feeling in me. And they also has provided me with the necessary physical facility. So there are 2 things which they have provided in my journey or in my effort towards excellence. So they might have provided the right understanding and right feeling in me. And they also has provided the necessary physical facilities. Some of them might be providing right understanding and right feeling. Some others might be helping me by providing necessary physical facility. And are we able to see this? This is the question here. So if you look at our family members, yeah, Nemanindi, you can, your mic is unmute if you want to share something.
Yes, sir. Yes, Bhaiya.
Please.
Namaste, Bhaiya.
Namaste, namaste.
My voice is audible?
Yes, yes, your voice is audible.
Okay. So from morning to night, we have to give so many people the gratitude. So in my version, in the morning, early in the morning, so the last sleep which we have, the morning wake up, we wake up very freshly. So I have to uh, say gratitude to the God. So I have waked up. So I'm very happy. So I started my work. So I pay the gratitude to the God who have given food shelter for me, and I am giving healthy also. So I am preparing my food, and I am healthy. So I am preparing food for my children, my uh, family members. So later, next, I go to the college by bus. So I have to gratitude to my driver who make my safe journey. So I tell gratitude to my team members or my college members that they are making me comfortable with me and making friendly with me. So I am happy in the stage. So I say great gratitude to my students because they are listening to me and they are following which I am giving the notes or which I am giving the lecture, they are following me. So later, so in every moment, even if I paying the money to the vegetable man, so he is giving to my the vegetables, so I have to thank him. I have to give gratitude for them because he gave which I want, he have given to me. So later at night, we have to recap all the persons who met from morning to night. So we pay the gratitude to each and everyone. At last, God, in my sense, Bhaiya. This is my reflection on this gratitude.
Gee, very nice that you are able to, uh, like you are able to start with the feeling of gratitude within yourself. The day itself, you start with the feeling of gratitude, and you
Uh,
continue to share it with others all along the day.
um,
And then even
um,
at the end of the day, when you're winding up the day, you end up with the feeling of gratitude. That's so nice to hear, Didi.
yes. Okay, thank you, Dave.
Gee, very nice. And thank you for sharing that. And also one thing, probably one comment I can make it here is that should we say that I should have the gratitude to my bus driver? I should have the gratitude to the vegetable vendor from whom I'm taking vegetables. So rather than that, if I am able to see that they are providing me the physical facility, for example, the vegetable vendor, even though he's taking money from me, he's providing vegetables. Otherwise, I won't be able to have the vegetables. So in
Yes.
that sense, I am able to have the feeling in me, and then I am expressing that feeling outside. So there are two things. One is like having the feeling inside, and then,
Mm.
and how does that feeling come? The feeling comes from the understanding, right? And then I am expressing it to the outside. So the expression part might be differing from different people. Some might be saying, if you just a thank you, isn't it? Some others might be, yeah, some others might be giving a reward. Maybe some other people might do something in return in terms of gratitude. And when I have this kind of thing, the interaction with all other human beings, irrespective whether I know they might be doing something directly or also not doing, I will have this feeling of gratitude and start expressing that gratitude in all my interactions. So that is also possible,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes, Bhaiya. Yes,
Gee,
Bhaiya.
yes. And it's very easy to have the feeling of gratitude within, because we as human beings, we all have a phase in our life during our childhood, like when we were not able to even take our baby steps without somebody's help. And we had a time when we could not, like have the food by our own. Maybe couple of years, we were fully dependent on our mothers for our food and other activities. And because of their help, only we had started walking, talking, running, and all those things. So even not only mother, even the parents, I mean, the father, the grandparents, our elder siblings, they all might have contributed in one way or the other for me developing as a human being, as a what do you call an adult human being, responsible human being, whom I am now, right now, isn't it? So when we look back, we can see, starting from our primary teachers, they have helped us in having not only the physical facility part, but also ensuring the right understanding and right feeling in me. When I had a period where in the kindergarten, I don't know what to speak, what to say, not able to have control of emotions, they supported me at the schools when I was crying, right? So they also helped us giving the baby steps of right understanding also, and the ensuring of the right feeling also, how to interact with other people, how to interact with the my elder ones. All these things they have taught us in terms of right understanding also. And I have the feeling of gratitude to them. And if you look at the number of people, you can see there are count is innumerous, right? So many people who are involved in my development as a human being, isn't it? And if I am able to see that, it is very easy to have this feeling of gratitude within me, right? And it is very significant in the development of the human to human relationship. And you can see that, when we speak about gratitude, the trust and respect are included in that already.
Even if we say thank you to the driver also, if one day I got late to the bus, he will stay for me. So madam will come. So he wait for me also. He have the little feeling of me. So regarding any festival also, he also shares with me some prasada like that. Madam, today we have, so like that of relationship we will maintain. And even if it is a regular vegetable man also, if we have not purchased on that day, he live from there. But he will shout from my house. But Bhaiya, today we don't want the vegetable. Tomorrow he will take a badiri like that, he says, and he will go from there. But he always stays there, and of course it might be a marketing technique also, and making a relationship also, sir. Bhaiya. So some extends that they will talk about their family matters also.
Yes.
Feeling of relationship. That type of nature I have seen.
Yes, and when you have that feeling of relationship with him, let's say, I mean, you were like saying that it is his marketing technique also, but then also, how is your feeling about it? Are you feeling comfortable within when you have that feeling of gratitude? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Very nice. Very nice, Didi. Yes. And when we say gratitude, probably sometimes we can say that there are, like the honeybees, if you look at, they are responsible for this pollination. And then that is the fundamental thing. Based on this, all this fertilization in the plants and all this happens. And that's how the vegetables are growing, the trees are growing, the flowers are flowering, all this happens. So we can have the feeling of gratitude to these small bees also, isn't it? Apart from human beings. So that also can be possible. I have the feeling of gratitude.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Huh.
Very nice.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Thank you. So going forward a little bit more. So can we have the gratitude for all the help that we receive is one thing we can look upon. If at all we try to list down the help we are receiving from the family, friends, teachers, society, in terms of food, shelter, etc., and also from nature, as I said, the honeybee example, it would be nice to see. Probably at this point of time, we might be like not paying attention, or probably paying enough attention to all those people, all those, like the family, friends, and teachers. But especially in the case of family, mostly we take it for granted in many cases because we overlook what they are doing, what they have done, and all those things. So when we were talking in one of the workshop, one of the faculty who has participated in the workshop, she was sharing that she uh, like there was actually her husband was also participating in the workshop, and she was sharing that one visible change which has happened with her husband is that husband started calling his mother-in-law, the wife's mother, and asking and inquiring, and which was not happening before. So she was saying that he started having this feeling of gratitude to the mother-in-law because when they both came for attending the workshop, the mother-in-law was taking care of the children at their home, and they have come from Coimbatore to the workshop in Kerala. So they were staying here together, husband and wife. Then the mother-in-law was taking care of the children there, and she till that time, whatever the interaction with the mother-in-law, the husband was doing through the wife. So husband would speak to the wife, and through wife only he was interacting with the mother-in-law. He would never call her or speak her over phone. So that was the practice which was going on. And then when uh, was she came from a different place and stayed in their home to take care of the children. And when he started exploring this content of gratitude, on that night he called mother-in-law, and he was inquiring how she was feeling. Did she have food? Was there any problem with the children? All those things he was inquiring. And the next day, the wife was sharing that this is the change which has happened. So such things can happen when we started really looking into the nuances, the small things which are happening in the relationship, and how the small things like getting a cup of tea, or preparing a meals, or maybe ironing my clothes when I'm in a hurry, right? All these things matters, and instead of taking them for granted, if I'm able to see the nuances of what is happening in terms of the relationship within the immediate family members, then I can have the feeling of gratitude and gratitude only. So are we able to see this? So this is very important. So this need not be in the family also. It can be in the friends, with respect to teachers, in society also. So for example, you go to an unknown place, and while traveling in the train, you don't know like how much time it will take to reach that station. What is the previous station in which you are supposed to get down? So you ask a co-passenger there, like, I'm going to this place, where can I get down? And how far is this college or institution where I have to go from the railway station? How can I get the bus? How would be the commutation? So all these things, when you are asking with the co-passenger, so we can see that there may be plenty of opportunities for each one of us to have this feeling of gratitude based on the interactions what we have, isn't it? And it could be the nature also, isn't
Yes.
it?
Okay.
Very nice.
It's true.
And if we are supposed to list down all those things with the help which we are getting from outside in terms of physical facility, let's take. So if at all we are imagining the lunch which we had taken today, right? So if you really look into the lunch, it might be mostly for South Indians or maybe the rice part, which is prominent. Maybe at the northern part of the country, they will be taking chapatis along with rice. But then if you look at the rice, where does the raw rice come from? Isn't it? It might have come from some farmer in some part of the country might have, he has grown that rice and he might have taken fertilizers, insecticides, plowed his land with some people, got water from somewhere, pumped in water using some motor, right? And then he ground that and he harvested that, the rice. And then probably he made it into, with the help of other lot of workers, he might have put all those things into rice sack, right? And then he might have brought some laborers to carry this on shoulders to the truck which is standing outside the field. So they are also involved. And then the load is being carried in the truck. Then the truck is also involved. If you look at it, the technology might have come from a different part of the world, right? And the driver is also involved. Even though he's getting paid for that, he's also involved in the process of that. And it is being transported to my place, very near to my place, maybe the ration shop or the shop which is near to my house. Probably we can see that the ration system is being done by a system and the government itself. So there is a civil supplies or something like that, the rationing department as such. So some people, officials will be there, who will be taking care of all these things and ensuring the supply is proper, in place, in time. And then it comes to our ration shop or the shop, and one of my family member will be going and buying or collecting it from the shop. And after bringing it, someone else maybe at home might be cooking the rice. And similarly, if you look at all the vegetables, the curries, all those things have got a similar story from where it is coming, originating from different places, different innumerous number of people getting involved in one way or the other, directly or indirectly, right? And when it comes to the plate in which I'm being served the food at my home, it might have come from different place. The chair in which I'm sitting might have come from different place. The spoon which I'm using might have different place, right? So all these people are involved for just a plate of meals, isn't it? And if you are able to see that, you can have the feeling of gratitude only, isn't it? And on the other hand, there may be a thought in me that, like I am working and I'm paid a salary, right? And using that money, I am buying all these things. So what is the big deal to have the gratitude for all others, all those things which you have so far listed? What do you think on this thought? Any Any thoughts to be shared on this? Yes. What do you think on this?
Mhm. Then I am giving the service to college, so they are paying money for me. So regarding my money, it was distributed. I think if I buy the ration, so that money goes to them. So, but the from farmer side, some distributor. So I have to give each and every person is involved, which we are not able to see, but behind that, so many persons are there. So we have to pay gratitude to everyone. So I think Sarve Janaha Sukhna Bhavantu, just we have to think in our minds. This is my opinion, Bhaiya.
Thank you. But at least if at all I'm not able to see the gratitude and the numerous number of people who are involved, then I might have a feeling of ego also. That is also possible if I'm not able to see that. Because I may think that I am paying the money, so I'm getting the things. So why should I have the feeling of gratitude? This also is a very relevant thing which we have to know if probably we can see in the students or the younger generation.
So, but our grandfathers, forefathers, so saying something that just you have to, while going to bed or while waking up, you just say that Sarve Janaha Sukhno Bhavantu, that all of the people should be in a state of happiness and all should be in a good state. That was good. But nowadays, it might so many people are not aware of these things also. And if we say something also, some people may listen to us, but some may not. It is a trash. So why should we follow that? What you are talking like that? Some may say like that, but my internally the gratitude is towards the each and every person. So while we are praying to the God, just we said not only about me, the people around me and the people around the some our country or something. So all should be in a happy state. So this is my opinion, Maya.
Thank you. Any others would like to share anything about this, the feeling of gratitude, or you want to share any instances with respect to the feeling of gratitude? Mic has been provided. Anybody else would like to share any experiences where I am feeling the gratitude towards my teachers, maybe towards my parents, for all the help they have done in my effort for excellence. So this would be a nice experiment to list down the help we are receiving from family, friends, teachers, society, etc., and also from nature, and see how many people and how many things are being involved in we working for our excellence, right? So here it is being said, the food, the transportation, the utensils, the chairs, the furniture, the machines used for cooking, the construction of the dining hall, etc. All these things. So there are how many number of people have been involved in all these things. So can you see the total number of people who are directly or indirectly involved in ensuring just one meal for you, as we have discussed? And the important question is, can money provide it if these people involved do not participate in the process? And probably we can cite many examples in the time of COVID, like we were all locked down in our houses. We had plenty of money in the bank. We were not able to go to the ATM and take money. there is no possibility of having a nice meal, and we were just surviving on the basic amenities. And it was not so far, it's not so far back. It is very recent, right? Maybe 3-4 years back, we had that experience. And the answer to that is what we can think about, like, for this question, like, can money provide it? And right now I'm talking from Kerala. So there was a flood which was happening in 2018 here in Kerala after so long. It was flooded completely at that time. And some of the people were spending days on the terrace. And finally, the helicopters from the Air Force airlifted them from the terrace. There are situations like that. And many of them had lakhs in their bank when these things are happening. And people were, like begging for pieces of bread at that time, isn't it? So can money provide it if these people are not involved or they do not participate in the process, right? Even though we have crores of money, if all these people's minuscule help they are not able to do, we may not be able to get it, right? The services which we are enjoying, the things which we are getting, all those things. Namaste, Jagdish Bhaiya. Over to you.
Namaste. Namaste. Is it audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So, money, if I see that money is, what is the purpose of money? Money is to get physical facility. And the physical facility is a need of the body. So, though we are paying for the service through money, but the feeling is for self. So, the gratitude feeling is very important. You cannot quantify it with money. So if if I able to see that, then I can see that the feeling holds highest priority in the service, not the money. That is what I want to share.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you for sharing that. So as Jagdish Bhai was mentioning, so the feelings which are the need of the self and the feelings which are the right feelings which are needed in continuity, can those feelings be provided with money, or can they be provided by the, what do you call it, the physical facilities which we procure using the money? Both are not possible, right? But then again, we can see that for the requirement of the body, for the survival of the body, we need some physical facility also. So we can have the feeling of gratitude to those people who have provided the physical facility also, isn't it? So that also is part of when we say the feeling of gratitude. But the gratitude is the feeling within me, right? When I am having the feeling of gratitude, it may be expressed in my expression towards the other, in the interactions between the other human beings, right? Very nice. So if at all, we can go ahead a little bit. So there are some questions for self-reflections with respect to gratitude here. The first question is, are you able to appreciate both what has been done as well as what has not been done, which is that the complete picture? Or are you mostly focused on what has not been done? So this is something which we can reflect upon. For example, in our houses, when somebody is cooking food for us, so every day they prepared very nice chapatis. And one day, there was, by mistake, one of two chapatis were darkened or burned. Then when I have that chapatis in my plate, what is my feeling within? Am I feeling that, no, this is how they can bring this black chapatis to me? How dare they do that to me? Or am I able to see that all these days they have put so much of effort to prepare the rightly cooked chapatis, and because of something, one or two chapatis has been darkened. So I'm able to see the complete picture. Probably if I'm able to reflect, I would just inquire, what happened? Are you not comfortable today? Are you not feeling good today? Is it because of that this has happened? In that case, can I help you in this regard? For that, I have to see the complete picture, not only what has been done, not only what has not been done, isn't it? At least for sometimes what happens in the students, you can see that sometimes we may be focused on what has not been done. So every time we are getting something from our parents, we might be, as a student, as a child, we might be focused on what has not been done. You have not done that. You have not done this. You didn't give me this. This might be something which they might be reflecting to the parents, right? So in that context, if they are getting a chance or making aware of them to see what all they have got and what all they have not got. So they can see that only a very small percentage of things might be the one they have not got, right? And the much larger things, larger percentage, they will be able to see that they have got. And if at all they are able to see the effort in getting all those things which are getting done, the effort they are putting, the family members are putting, the parents are putting, to make sure that the children get all these things, right? So obviously they will be able to see the feeling of gratitude, isn't it? Any thoughts or reflections on this? Yeah, Jagdish Bhai is saying, but focus is what has not been done. Yes. Mostly we can see that the focus is on what has not been done. If at all that, let me be aware that my focus is on what has not been done. When I'm aware of that, I will be aware that what has been done can also be seen. And when I see how much is what has been done and how much is what has not been done, I'll get a feel of that, right? Then my focus might shift to the complete picture. And when I have the complete picture, the only thing is I can have the feeling of gratitude instead of complaining. Yeah, this way saying looking black spot on full white paper and a white dot on the blackboard also, similar to that. So that might be our conditioning so far. But then when we are discussing about the gratitude, the feeling of gratitude, we are drawing your attention to look into the white paper, not only to the white paper, but also to the black dot, both, and see how less is the black dots and how large is the white paper, the area in terms also. Isn't it? That is why we are reflecting upon this when we are discussing about the feeling of gratitude, to see the complete picture. It will be a nice experiment actually to do this, to have a list of things, what has been done, what has not been done, right? Because we, as Jadish Bhai is saying, the focus might be mostly on what has not been done. And then what happens? We'll have the complaint. That will be the result. But then we are bringing awareness as part of this discussion on what has been done also. And we can clearly see that the percentage is much, much, much larger. And the other one is very, very, very smaller, isn't it? Right. So the next question which we can reflect upon is, do you have a feeling of gratitude for others in continuous, or the feeling of gratitude comes and goes? So this is also something which we can reflect upon. So when we are able to see, it is actually a question which is connected to the first question. When we are able to see the complete picture of what has all been done, then we can have more and more time where we have the feeling of gratitude. And you can see that the gratitude of feeling of gratitude is continuous when we are able to see the complete picture. And with the feeling of a relationship, if you are able to see what has not been done, our response will be with gratitude, with responsibility, with a feeling of relationship, with a feeling of complementarity, interacting with the other, isn't it? So this is also one more thing where we can reflect upon, like, do we have feeling of gratitude in continuity, or it comes and goes, and how often it comes and goes, right? So we can reflect upon that also. And we can also see, are you making effort for ensuring the right feeling in yourself and expressing them to the other, or are you expecting these feelings from the other? This is also one more question which we can reflect upon, isn't it? So is it that I am expecting these feelings from others? And this is one of the most important reasons why we are unhappy, why we are into like the disharmony, isn't it? Because we are not able to ensure the right feelings in ourselves, then is it possible to express or give it to others? So in that context, probably we may have to like mock, not mock actually, like imitate, or maybe I can say to show that in my behavior, but it is not within. My bowl is empty. But then again, as part of my conditioning, I am expected to show or express in terms of behavior. Then it will be a contradiction within myself, and I'll be in disharmony, right? Or else the other part is that I will be expecting these feelings from the other without I having this, isn't it? Whenever I am able to have these feelings within me, then the natural outcome is that it will be reflected in the behavior within me to the other people in all my interactions, right? And for that, I need to ensure these right feelings within myself. So how do I ensure these right feelings? The first part is about the self-exploration, to understand the proposals, to understand the right feelings. Then by living these feelings, right? Living these values, then I will be able to ensure the right feelings within myself. And once I'm able to ensure the right feelings within myself, then I'll be able to share that right feelings to others also, instead of expecting these feelings from the other. Isn't it? Anybody would like to reflect on these points, on these self-reflection points? Any sharings with respect to our parents, with respect to students, with respect to children, with respect to strangers? Can someone share some experience where you have got some unknown help or support from somebody who is a stranger on the street, from out of the blue, when you were thinking that there is no one to help? Any thoughts on that? Any sharings? Very nice. So we'll go a step ahead. Yes, Namalji, you want to add something?
I just forget to say that I have to pay. I'm giving the gratitude to the whole UHV team because they have given me some sort of. I am getting the information and I am learning something. So I'm in a live session. I am saying that I am paying gratitude towards the UHV team. That is why.
See, very nice, Didi. We are having
Thank you,
gratitude to each other for hand-holding each other, isn't it? Just like you have the feeling of gratitude to the UHV team, the UHV team has got this information from someone else. They have formulated it into a content, and they also might be having the feeling of gratitude to their mentors, and that is how it is come as a lineage, right? Let's give it to the next generation as and when we go, right? In terms of our students, our children, and then they are able to have this right understanding and right feeling ensured in them. Let them give it to the next generation, isn't it?
Thank
Very
you.
nice. So when we say in terms of natural acceptance, how is it? Do you want to be related to none? That means the feeling of being opposition to all. Is it naturally acceptable to you? Can we have some response in the chat or in the mic? What do you think? The feeling of being related to none, not related to anyone, or feeling of being in opposition to all. Is it naturally acceptable? Jagadish Bhai is saying all. I think when Bhai is saying related to, he's pointing to being related to all. Very nice. So can we say that the feeling of being related to none is not naturally acceptable to me? So in that case, how about the feeling of being related to one and the feeling of being related to many? Is that naturally acceptable to you? Are you able to see that it is naturally acceptable to you? To all of us, isn't it? Whereas that we can call it as affection, that the feeling of being related to the other, the acceptance of the other as one's relative, I can call it as affection, the feeling of being related to one and many. And if I'm able to expand that feeling of affection, I can see that I can have the feeling of being related to all. So that we call it as love, the feeling of being related to all. And that is the complete value, because it includes all other values included in it. So when I have the feeling of love, all the feelings starting from trust, respect, affection, care, guidance, reverence, all these things are included when I am saying I have the feeling of love. It would be nice if to look at to see whether am I able to see the feeling of love within me. Probably we can see that it might take some time to extend this feeling of affection into the what you call expand the circle of affection to larger and larger number of people, to starting from my immediate parents to maybe my circle of relatives, circle of friends, circle of our neighbors, circle of our community, circle of the panchayat or whoever, and then expanding it to like bring more and more people into that circle, right? And once I may be able to have the feeling of each and every human being, not only confining to human beings, to the plants, the trees, the animals, the birds, and also to the non-living things also, maybe to the celestial objects, the galaxies, right? The solar systems and the universe and existence as such, each and every unit in the existence. So that feeling is what we call it as love, and we call it as the complete value, right? So probably we can discuss something about the preconditioning related to love also, where we call it as, we often mistake the excitement from the sensation or preconditioning. We confuse it for love. And that creates a lot of problems in the society also, especially with the teenagers. So if you look at our imagination, the source of imagination could be either from preconditioning or it could be from sensation, or a small amount could be from natural acceptance also. So when our imagination is based on preconditioning on the basis of sensation, for example, if I'm trying to see that the love is something which I get from the other in terms of body, as in the form of lust, are we able to see that the continuity is not possible? Right. So at some point of time, we may be having this feeling of lust with respect to the body. After sometimes the charm of the body might wane, and then you can see that it is no longer excited for the lust part. So continuity may not be possible, right? So even in the students also, probably we can see that they are having a relationship with someone for some time. And then after some time, they might have seen somebody who is like having a better choice, which they assume it's so. And they might move off, break up from that, the initial one, and move on to enter into a relation with someone else. So all these things are body-based, and continuity may not be possible. And in terms of preconditioning also, you can see this infatuation in our students also, the children also, where they say that I was having a relationship with the other person, which was a love at first sight. So it would be nice if you can reflect upon what is the when in the first sight. Is it the self or is it the body? Isn't it? And this preconditioning that by this age, I must have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And one more interesting preconditioning is that the other has 4 girlfriend and boyfriend. I have only 1. So when one is not having a girlfriend or boyfriend, he is having this feeling that I should have one because I'm at this age. When one is having 1 or 2 boyfriend, then his idea is to have more. boyfriends and girlfriends, right? So these are all preconditionings, and they are mistaken for love, where love is not anything related to the body, right? Because if at all we are having this infatuation, continuity may not be possible, isn't it? But love is not so. But when we say love, it is based on the right understanding, which is the natural acceptance for us. It is the feeling of being related to all. It is responsible towards all, giving to all, and continuity is possible, isn't it? So this has to be very clear for all, especially the youth, for all of us. So we can see that once trust, respect, affection, care, guidance are ensured within, then the feeling of being related to all follows naturally, isn't it? Right. So to sum up, we can see that, so the sum up is for the whole of the other feelings part. We can see that the affection is the feeling of being related to the other. With affection, one has the responsibility and commitment for mutual fulfillment in the relationship. Now, excellence is the understanding and living in harmony at all the levels of living. Making effort for excellence and competing with the other is not the same thing. This we have seen in the last session, right? And reverence is the feeling of acceptance of excellence. So when I'm able to see that there is excellence in one human being, then I have the feeling of reverence for him. And today's session, we have discussed about gratitude. Gratitude is the feeling for those who have made effort in terms of providing help in the process of my development, right? So here, what we are saying by my development is my effort and work in the direction of excellence, right? So in my effort for the work of excellence, which I call it as my development, I have the feeling of gratitude to all those who have taken effort in terms of providing help in terms of physical facility, as well as in terms of right understanding. So I have the feeling of gratitude to all of them. And if you look at the innumerous number of people to whom I can have gratitude, I can have the feeling of gratitude in continuity, isn't it? And love is the feeling of being related to all, the complete value. And when we say related to all, it includes not only human beings, it also includes the plants, the animals, the birds, the trees, and all the non-living things also, which means all the units in existence. So that is why we call it as a complete value. And we also discussed about several preconditionings related to love, which need to be rightly evaluated, like the body-based so-called love, which is prevalent in the society now, based on preconditionings or based on sensations. The problem is that in both the cases, continuity may not be possible. It can be an excitement for some time. And when the excitement dies out, that feeling of also wings out, right? So that is not what we are talking about. And it is very important for the youth to understand the real meaning of love. So let's all work towards the understanding and having the ensuring of the feeling of love. not only in ourselves and also to our students also. Let's work towards excellence. So that's about it. So home assignments. So just ways in which we can develop the affection in different batches in the institute, also students of the same batch. Make a list of people that you take inspiration from. Evaluate if they are living in harmony or making effort to do so. Evaluate the feeling you have for them. Is it over, under, or otherwise evaluation? Evaluate if they are helping others to live in harmony. Note a few things that you would like to learn from them. List a few steps that you need to take to work for excellence. The next one is make a list of people in your family, in the college, and the larger society who are directly or indirectly responsible to fulfill your needs. Then what is your feeling for them? What is your interaction with them? What is your contribution in terms of understanding, feeling, and physical facility to them? Distinguish between love and infatuation. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for your reflections also. Let's continue the next discussion on the coming Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Namaste. Over to you.
Thank you, Nikesh bhai, and thank you all the course for the active participation. We certainly like to have more such sessions. So we'll meet again next Wednesday, same time. So thank you, everybody. Namaste.